I dread going to my hometown. My anxiety goes through the roof because I can anticipate seeing a great deal of people who don't know much about me, yet always ask without fail, "What's your major?" Then I have to prepare myself to see their face visibly drop when I say that I am a creative writing and theater double major. I admit, I'm dreading it more than ever because this year, I have to tell them that my theater department has been cut. The worst part is that I'm not alone. Across the nation, arts programs have been on a steady decline since the 2008 recession, only expedited by the COVID-19 pandemic. Since last March, the arts community have suffered an estimated $15.2 billion in financial losses, leaving about 63% of professional working artists unemployed. 11 months ago, we were all locked inside, and the one thing we turned to for comfort was art. It was movies, television, books. Despite the comfort art brought us over a worldwide lockdown, advocacy for the performing arts is currently at an all-time low. High school seniors have had their last concerts and musicals stolen from them. Broadway, once an overactive hub of culture, is still shut down, with no plans to reopen until the fall of 2021. The Upright Citizens Brigade comedy studio that has existed since 1990 and produced such talents as Tina Fey and Amy Poehler has permanently closed its doors. If we truly believe that performing arts are going to be waiting for us once it's safe to go out again, then we need to reform what arts advocacy actually looks like at a national level to maintain and protect the future of the industry. Picture this. A government-designated ally in a cabinet-level position who serves as an ambassador to arts and culture in the United States. Theater critic Peter Marks refers to this role as a Dr. Fauci for the arts, an appointed representative who protects arts and their funding, but also works to ensure the future of the industry. This position exists in slight variation in 50 other countries worldwide. Petitions are emerging online asking that we implement this role into Joe Biden's cabinet. Arts and culture contribute over $877 billion to the United States gross domestic product. Congress wants to protect that revenue. In December of 2020, Congress passed the Save Our Stages Act, a bill that guarantees $15 billion in grants will be allocated to live performance venues to help with pandemic recovery. Now, artists are grateful for this bill, but they had to wait 9 months for it and will continue to wait for funding to be dispersed. In fact, the Save Our Stages website that got the movement off the ground is still asking for donations to keep venues afloat as we wait for funding to roll out officially. This massive amount of grant funding needs to be in the safe hands of a national advocate with industry knowledge who can be trusted to allocate those funds appropriately and efficiently. Such a position can ensure that funding for the arts doesn't disappear when COVID does. Now, the Save Our Stages Act will likely allot most of its funding to independently owned theaters. This means our national advocate will need to take extra steps to ensure that art is protected at a local level, especially when it comes to art education. Young people's exposure to art should not only be protected, but implemented into schools' curriculums. Typically, school boards cut the theater program to reallocate those funds to core subjects in an effort to boost test scores. Yet, when those schools do offer a theater program, their students outperform their peers, scoring an average of 65.5 more points on the SAT. Imagine if our national advocate could implement a performing arts requirement at every grade level. Students would gain essential skills such as public speaking, being quick on your feet, teamwork, building confidence, and oral communication. Skills that will serve them well in any profession. Members of local school boards should be aware of the true importance of an arts education for their constituency. We need young people to bring us into the future, rather than remaining stuck in the past. Now let's assume history repeats itself. The bubonic plague in Italy ultimately led to the Renaissance, but only the elite benefited, as they were the only ones who could afford to view the creations of the Renaissance. In a post-COVID world, if only upper-class individuals can afford to support live theater and live performances, that will lead to a spike in ticket prices, keeping even more people out of the theater. How can we support and consume entertainment when we can't even go see a movie, let alone a touring Broadway musical? If we are televising live sporting events with empty stands, where players are safe by adhering to CDC guidelines, what is stopping Broadway from doing the same? Saturday Night Live has taken a similar approach in their 46th season. Our national advocate could propose federal administrative rules to encourage and require licensing companies make scripts available for performance in a virtual platform. If Broadway actors follow these same health procedures, we can film live theatrical productions made accessible to the general public via streaming services. We saw the massive success of Hamilton on Disney+, with 2.7 million families and households watching. The potential for streaming copyrighted material at convenient times for an audience offers mainstream exposure to productions and benefits artists when they need it more than ever. The show will go on. We shouldn't have to wait any longer for a world in which artists are recognized and thanked for their efforts. Thank you.